Switching gears, the Ronner Party, which I just hit me over the weekend, rhymes with Donner Party,
Oh,
and of course they left from Springfield to head out west, and similarly, the Ronner Party preaches unity while practicing cannibalism of conservatives, and that continues from the primary to the contest for seats on the state central committee, the governing body of the Illinois Republican Party. That governing body will next month select a state party chairman, and Ronner and his henchmen are trying to protect Tim Schneider, the Cook County Commissioner slash state party chairman, who is facing a conservative uprising similar to the one Ronner faced in the primary. And for more on this topic, we're pleased to be joined by Lake County Sheriff and Republican activist Mark Curran. Mark, thanks for being with us. Appreciate it.
You got it. Hi, Dan and Amy.
So why don't we start with just
Usually I'm listening to my car. The reception's not as good in the house, so I don't know who preceded me.
Oh, okay. I
should have the podcast. I know.
Well, let's talk about the state party chairmanship and whether you think it's time for Tim Schneider to be replaced as state party chairman.
Absolutely. So Tim Schneider, I don't think anybody knows where he's at on issues that are important to Republicans right now. Really, if you look at nationally and even in the General Assembly, everybody's pro-life. I mean, where's this guy? And he doesn't reflect us. And you look at what happened in the presidential primary. Trump and Cruz accounted for 70% of the vote. So we are a conservative party. That's where our base is. Tim Schneider, liberal, elected from the border of Cook County. He hasn't been up to Lake County. We don't know who he is. Obviously he's one of Governor Rauner's friends. Big money insider, and there's no energy there. They don't respect us. They get involved in primaries, and as you said, Dan, the party is talk about divided. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't think you've ever seen this type of a backlash as it looks for the
just to put a fine point on it. I mean that the purge continues. That Ronner and Schneider and their allies have called for conservatives to leave the party, and that they have put candidates up against current members of the state central committee who are conservative. So they like primaries when they want to get rid of somebody they don't like. They don't like primaries when they're challenged on policy or philosophy, like you're describing. But three key state central committee posts are facing a challenge now that's backed by Ronner and Durkin and Brady and the establishment because they need to replace those conservatives in order to protect Tim Schneider.
No, you're exactly right. I mean, I went to the last couple national party conventions. Tim Schneider stands on the floor, and repeatedly his introduction was the greatest governor in the United States, Bruce Rauner, and that's the way he introduces him. That's his buddy. It's all he is interested in promoting is Bruce Rauner. It's nothing for the rest of us. The crumbs, are not making our way. Like I said, this guy's his Cook County Commissioner district borders my county in several places. We've never seen him at a single event. No energy, doesn't reflect our party. And, they used to talk about the Rockefeller Republicans that essentially, big money insiders and what have you. And those guys were thrown out all over the country. You look at what the demographics of the Republican Party is now. And that's why, like I said, the even in Illinois, Cruz and Trump accounted for 70% of the Republican primary vote in this state. So we're not some liberal party that they want us to be.
so who would you like to see as the Illinois Republican Party chairperson?
So I don't think it should be an elected either, because that's the problem is that Tim Schneider's running for office, and then he's got to be friends with the newspaper editors and what have you, and he's afraid to get dirty, so he wouldn't be a good choice. I mean, we have a great party chairman in Lake County, Mark Shaw. I don't know if he's interested, but it should be somebody that has core values, that reflect those of Republicans. I was a Democrat, Amy. I left the Democratic Party in 2008. Mm-hmm. Since then, my county has gone overwhelmingly Democrat. I mean, it was trending that way to begin with, even before that. And we're in a lot of trouble as a party, and that's because we have no identity, we have no fighter, and we have, people that the base. I mean, they think that their time's better spent doing other things than politics right now because these are the people that are leading it.
Well, especially when you have, if you don't agree with me on a primary candidate, you should be excommunicated from the party. I'm not sure how that builds the party. There was a letter sent out in the Kinzinger's district, Congressman Kinzinger's district, by a bunch of legislators, two state reps, Welter and David Welter, Jerry Long, two state senators, Chuck Weaver, Dave Severson, basically saying to the current state central committeeman there, since you supported Jeannie Ives in the primary, you should step down.
Yeah, so did 49.9% of the primary voters. Secondly, I mean, if she wasn't outspent 20-1, she's probably the nominee. So, I mean, that's how clueless, these people are. And, essentially what they don't realize is the people to the right of them, if you will, we're the street fighters. We don't live in $10 million homes. We're the people that, we have a purpose in our life and come at us with what you want, but we're not going to back down.
What about the argument that Ronner bought the party, so he owns it, and he gets to pick his state party chairman, and that should just be assented to?
Well, I don't, I've seen stories that Governor Ronner is going to leave the state if he leaves he will leave the state if he loses the general election. I don't.
Yeah, they're
think
going to Italy.
He's in it for the.
Yeah.
Right.
It's where a lot of former Illinois Republican governors retire.
Right. So it's basically he's not in it for the long haul. I don't think anybody knew of Governor Ronner before he ran for governor. Certainly not. And I've been going to the state party convention before that. We never saw him there. And the National Party Convention, nobody ever heard of him.
He was going to the Democrat conventions, I think, at the time. That was before his metamorphosis. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the money. I mean, if we had people with some energy that could put out a good message, I think we could raise money. But that's not the case. So the Dick Uihleins, I mean, I take their money over the money of people that believe in nothing any day.
Do you expect there's going to be a challenge to Schneider? County conventions are this Wednesday, and so depending on who wins those state central committeeman races, there will be a challenge to Schneider.
Yeah, absolutely, Dan. I know there's talk of it, and there has to be, or we're done, and we're going to get killed in November. The Democrats are salivating at this moment in time, and I think it's got to change. There's no energy, and we got to get back to why should the grassroots want to work for this party?
Great question. Not sure I know the answer at this juncture. Mark Curran, Lake County Sheriff, Republican Party activist. Mark, thanks as always for joining us. Appreciate it.
All right, take care, y'all.
Thanks. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
And he didn't even arrest